Vertebrates are animals that have backbones. On the shallow coral reefs, these are mainly fish and sea turtles. More than 890 species of fish can be found living in American Samoa's coral reef ecosystems. Some species of fish are very common, others are very rare and seldom seen. The yellowfin goatfish is one of the most common of the goatfish species. The Samoan language commonly has several names for the same fish. The goatfish use the barbels on their lower jaw to search for food. There are several species of squirrelfish and soldierfish commonly found in the shallow water coral reef habitats. Most of the bannerfish species found on American Samoa's coral reefs are corallivores and feed upon the living corals. Bannerfish and marsh idols can often be found schooling together. The bannerfish and the marsh idol look very much alike. For the unexperienced to tell the two fish apart, look at the top dorsal fin. The top fin, the dorsal fin, on the marsh idol has a very elongated streamer. The marsh idol also has an elongated tubular mouth. The blue-green chromis is one of the most abundant fish found in the shallow water coral reef habitats. Blue-green chromis live in between the branches of staghorn-type corals and feed upon plankton in the water. There are many species of damselfish on the coral reef. The blue damsel is one of the most noticeable because of its bright blue color. These fish are feeding upon the remains of a dead snail. The coral reef ecosystem is a nutrient-poor ecosystem, and any dead organisms are quickly eaten by others. The secret to the high productivity of the coral reef ecosystem is thought to be its tight recycling of nutrients. Very little energy is wasted in the food web of the coral reef ecosystem. There are between 30 and 36 species of butterfly fish found on American Samoa's coral reefs. Some species feed strictly on coral polyps. Others feed on a wide variety of organisms. Both the Bennett's butterfly and the ornate butterfly fish feed primarily on coral polyps. Many species of fish spend some part of their life living in the coral reef ecosystem. Some species of fish arrive as juvenile fish and leave the shallow water coral reef areas as they mature. A few species of surgeonfish arrive on the coral reef in very large numbers as juveniles. They form large schools, which provides them some protection from the predatory fish. The juvenile striped bristle-toothed surgeonfish is very colorful. Within a few weeks of their arrival on the coral reef, the juvenile fish change to their adult color, a dark brown. The juvenile rabbitfish, below, also arrives on the reef in large numbers. Rabbitfish are herbivores and are very important, as they eat the algae that can overgrow and kill the corals. Their large schools of rabbitfish clean up the algae as they travel across the reef, leaving an algae-free area behind them. Sea turtles are still a common sight in American Samoa's coral reef habitats. Sea turtles can stay underwater for long periods of time. Here, a hawksbill sea turtle sleeps under a coral rock ledge. All sea turtle species are protected in American Samoa and should not be bothered. Hawksbill sea turtles feed upon a variety of organisms like snails, sea hares, and soft corals. This hawksbill sea turtle is feeding upon a large sea hare it has found in the reef. Larger shark species like the tiger shark will prey upon sea turtles. The green sea turtle species is a herbivore and visits the coral reefs and lagoons to feed upon turtle grass and other algae. Fish can be found living just about anywhere on the coral reef. The five-lined cardinalfish can be found throughout the coral reef ecosystem. Blue-streaked sleeper gobies sift through the sand for their food and live in holes dug into the seafloor. The ocellated dragonet is a bottom-dwelling fish that feeds mostly upon copepods and amphipods. There are many algae-eating blenny species found on the coral reef. The spotted sandperch is fairly common in the back reef areas. The green spotted toby is almost always found in pairs. Some fish and invertebrates live within the coral reef structure itself and are very seldom seen. The blue striped pipefish is a very cryptic fish, living inside of holes and tunnels within the coral reef structure. Some fish are nocturnal and only leave the coral reef structure at night. The big scale soldier fish has large eyes to help it find its food in the dark. Many coral reef fish change their colors and patterns as they grow. This juvenile emperor otter angelfish is eating organisms off the surface of the coral rock. As the emperor otter angels grow, they lose their white circles and stripes. The adult emperor otter angelfish is very different from the juvenile. The living corals provide refuge for many species of fish. While the number of different coral species found in Tutilia's coral lagoons is low, in many areas the percentage of area covered by those few species of corals is quite high. The percentage of an area covered by living corals is very important, as it provides more refuge and food for fish and invertebrates. Simply put, a healthy reef promotes a healthy fishery. The sandy areas of the back reef and lagoon habitats also provide feeding areas for fish like mullet. The mullet filter the sand through their gills, sifting out small crustaceans and worms for food. Stingrays don't visit the coral reefs very often, but they can be found in the sandy and silty areas of the back reefs and the coral reef lagoons. Stingrays have a sharp, spear-like, poisonous barb that lies along their tail. If stepped on, they can defend themselves with this barb, inflicting a very serious injury. There are many types of eels living in the coral reef areas. Some moray eel species can grow quite large. The giant moray can reach up to 10 foot long. There are also some moray species that are quite small. The dwarf moray, for example, is fully grown at 10 inches. The snowflake moray is a common moray species that can be found living in the back reef areas. At about 2.5 feet, this snowflake moray is a full-grown adult. The snowflake moray, like many moray species, can be quite aggressive. Lucky for me, this snowflake attacked the camera and not my hand. Triggerfish are another common predator found living in the back reef areas. They prey upon snails, small fish, and crustaceans. The barracudas are one of the fastest predators found on the coral reef. Large barracudas like this 5-footer can also be dangerous to any person entering their territory. Fortunately, attacks are rare, but they do happen. The bluefin trevally is another fast-swimming predatory fish of the coral reef ecosystem. Neither the barracuda or the trevally are permanent residents of the coral reef ecosystems. It's the abundance of so many small fish living in the coral reef ecosystems that draws in these larger, fast-swimming predators. While some predatory fish rely upon their swiftness to capture their prey, others capture their food by stalking or ambushing it. The trumpetfish stalks its prey. Lionfish are both stalkers and ambushers of small fish and shrimp. There are several species of lionfish found in American Samoa's waters. Lionfish have hollow dorsal fin rays that can inject a very painful neurotoxin. The dorsal fin rays inject the toxin like a hypodermic needle when stepped upon, brushed against, or bitten by a predator. Young lionfish sometimes look more like a plant than a fish. The scorpionfish and stonefish are related to the lionfish and also have poisonous dorsal fin rays. Scorpionfish and stonefish are masters of disguise, looking much like coral rocks and algae. They are ambush-type predators who sit and wait for their prey to come within striking range. Many fish spend part of their lives on or near the coral reef. Some fish families, like the parrotfish, have very strong ties to the coral reef. Some species of parrotfish feed on algae growing on the coral reef. Other species of parrotfish feed on the living corals themselves. The parrotfish species that feed upon the living corals help in the creation of coral sand beaches. The sharks are the largest natural marine predators of the coral reef ecosystem. The blacktip reef shark feeds upon fish, crabs, lobsters, and octopuses. The top predator of the coral reef ecosystem is man. These fishermen are using the Samoan slingshot type spears and doing quite well. The fishermen are placing their catch on a long line, so if any sharks do show up, they won't be bitten as the sharks eat their fish. In the Samoas, taking anything from the ocean is considered fishing. Samoans fish many ways, from spearfishing the outer reef areas to collecting shellfish along the shore. The coral reefs of American Samoa supply its people with a wide variety of fish and other seafoods. Unfortunately, many American Samoa's coral reefs are declining in health. As the coral reefs decline in health, so do the fisheries. The coral reefs and their fisheries have always been important to the Samoan way of life. The loss of American Samoa's coral reef ecosystems is primarily due to the man-made stresses they are being subjected to. Destructive fishing, pollution, marine debris, sedimentation, increasing water temperatures are all problems that can harm or kill the living corals and other organisms which create the coral reef ecosystem. We will look at and study the problems facing American Samoa's coral reefs in the next episode of Under the Waves of American Samoa. This production was made possible by the support of the following individuals and companies: